What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Tips in 10, where we give you the top tips in the least amount of time. This series was built to help you stay in the know without taking a chunk out of your schedule. Let's welcome today's guest, Lisa Hammett. Lisa is a 10X and motivational speaker, high performance success coach, and the international best selling author of From Burnout to Best Life, who helps stressed and burned out business owners and executives develop mental fitness to manage stress and fear productively. Before starting her own business, she worked in the corporate retail industry for 26 years. She was stressed, burnt out, and unhealthy individual that she now serves. Lisa provides people with the strategies she used to help them take charge of their lives by releasing limiting beliefs that drive unhealthy behavior and resetting their mindset so they can live their happiest, healthiest, and most successful life. Lisa, welcome to Tips in 10.
Thank you. Super excited to be here, Mike.
No, I am excited too as well. Let's have some fun. Tips in 10. We've got 10 minutes to
Yeah.
to just try and share just the biggest nuggets that you have. So share with us a journey or your journey of reaching burnout and how you overcame it, because I know so many people experience that.
Oh boy. Yeah. It's not a fun place to be. So, as you had mentioned, I was 26 years in the corporate retail sector. And if you have not experienced burnout, this is how I described it. In my case, it was like slamming into a wall at full speed. And I was just completely done. I was 65 pounds overweight and suffering from all kinds of health problems, marriage issues. It was not a good situation. So I took the drastic step and exited that long-term career really without a plan or a strategy in place, which caused significant hardship for many years. So I share all that with you because I try to prevent people from doing that. And when I left the corporate sector, I started my wellness journey and I lost the weight, and then I started health and wellness coaching. And I went through a lot of self development and growth myself, those limiting beliefs you talked about. And then during COVID, I actually launched my practice, and really to help people because they were coming to me. They're like, I am so stressed. They were overweight. They were like, I need help. So that's kind of my trajectory of how I went through it in a nutshell. And it was challenging, but it is doable.
No, you know what? And especially during COVID, what a great time, honestly, to start, especially health, because I know for myself and many other people, it was just like a time to binge eat. It was
And
it was
drink.
like, hey, exactly. Like I'm getting out of reality. The way I'm going to cope with some of this is I'm going to be eating and drinking, and it is what it is.
Hmm.
So what a great opportunity to come in and do that, and especially the mental fitness, which actually I want to ask you a question on next.
Yes.
Just the importance of that, especially to get through those challenging times. I know that today that many people are experiencing a lot of issues in that. So help define what mental fitness is, and how do you use it to help your clients manage stress to prevent or even move past burnout.
Good question. So, mental fitness is really the act of recognizing all those negative emotions that we manifest from the left analytical side of our brain. And oftentimes, they bubble up from our subconscious. So we don't even know that they exist, which is sad. We have over 70,000 thoughts a day, and 80% are negative. So it's a
Hmm.
wonder we can get out of bed some mornings. So, anyways, it's recognizing them. And then the mental fitness piece of it comes into play where you actually shift your mindset from the negative to the positive right side of your brain. Because when you're in your right happy brain, you're peaceful, you're calm, you have clear-headed focus, you have great cognitive abilities, your relationships are improved. And there is a technique where we engage our senses in these little micro meditations. And they may seem silly, but what they do is they actually quiet all that negative mind trash so that you're really not thinking about anything. You're focusing on a mug let's look at this mug. Let's stare at it so intently, like we've never seen it before. So it's you stop thinking about all this other garbage, or you can use your hearing. What do you hear? Or I rubbed two fingers together. That actually helped me through my TEDx, which I had a microphone malfunction. So it actually helped me stay grounded and in place. So that's in a nutshell, high level of what.
Right. So when you were doing that, like you were doing that while doing your presentation?
Yes. And before.
Okay.
Yeah, it was crazy just to stay grounded, because when they stopped me mid-presentation and said, "Oh, sorry, your mic's not on," I could have completely derailed. And I was in a great space. I made a joke, I did a curtsy, and then I went ahead and continued. And then at the end, because my talk was about managing stress in the moment with mental fitness, I just kind of referenced the situation, and it turned out to be great. So, it's that grounding. It's taking that focus off that negative energy.
I was going to say, did they do that on purpose just to kind of test you to say, is she the real deal?
I know. It's so funny. I mean, I believe whatever anybody believes, this is not a pitch in any way, but I believe in divine intervention. And I truly believe that was supposed to happen to me, because I was the only person of 19 that this happened to. And it was just so ironic, I guess, that, it really pertained to what I was talking about. So it was kind of funny.
That's good. And great job.
Thank
finishing
you.
strong on that too. That's impressive.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about your best-selling book, from burnout to best life.
Yes. So during the pandemic, I started blogging, and I had not had this burning desire to write a book, but in just LinkedIn introductions, like how we connected, I became connected with people in the publishing space, and they were telling me, "You have good content. You should write a book." And, you listen to it a couple times. You're like, yeah, whatever. And then it happened again, the divine intervention that I felt it was. And okay, I get it. I need to write a book. So that's what I did. So it was kind of a compilation of the blog post integrating my journey of reaching and moving past burnout with practical tips to help you get back on target. So it's not rocket science, some of the things you've probably heard before, but it's really to identify pain points in your life that you might need to focus on. So it starts, with your vision and how do you create your vision, your why, how do you create goals, habits, and then the whole huge mindset piece of it. And then literally what you put in your body and how you move your body. So that's it in a nutshell.
That's awesome. So, I mean, for the, some of our listeners that are listening today, I'm sure that there's plenty of people that are interested in writing their own book. Is there just a couple of tips that you could just share on, maybe how to get it started, or, maybe like the top 2 or 3 steps that they should take just to get it going and get it done?
Absolutely. Journaling is really a great place to start. As thoughts come to you, just put them down on paper. Your book doesn't have to make sense. In fact, they'll tell you, editors, publishers, you don't sit down and write your book from start to finish. Nobody does that. It's really a compilation of thoughts. You get an idea, and then you're changing it and kind of editing that. So get those thoughts down. And then if you really struggle putting things to paper, there are great ghostwriters out there, and I know a ton of them, and, different editors and book coaches that can guide you on the process. But it's a wonderful experience. And if you have a story to tell, whether it's personal or it's fictional, do it. It's a tremendous experience.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. Well, I just don't want to be all business today too. I want to have a little bit of fun. So we're going to do a little speed round questions, and then we're going to wrap this bad boy up. So, Lisa, what is your hidden talent?
My hidden talent? Oh, goodness. Well, I can draw and I can paint. I wouldn't say that I excel at both, but I'm decent.
Okay.
So I can draw
Excellent.
and paint. Yeah.
Excellent. So if you could have an unlimited supply of one thing, what would it be?
Coffee, probably.
I think you answered that for probably about 95% of the people that are listening. So last question, morning person or night owl?
Oh, that's a good question. I forced myself to be a morning person because just in the industry that we're in, it just you really need to get up early and get your day started. Ideally, in a perfect world, I would get up around 8 and I would go to bed at like midnight. But I'm
Okay.
usually in bed by like 9:30 and I'm
Okay.
up by like 5:36.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Lisa, thank you so much for taking part in our Tips in 10. How can our audience reach out to you? What is the best way to connect with you? And also, where can they get your book?
That all through my website, and it's real easy. It's lisahammett.com. That's it. You see my name on the screen, go to lisahammett.com. You can sign up for blogs. You can access my book. You can learn about me. You can email me. Yeah, schedule a booking call, whatever you want.
Awesome. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for joining us on Tips in
Thank
10
you.
today. Have an amazing day.
You too.